The existence of some creepy beings has been questioned for centuries. But now, some of them are finally coming to light. From terrifying hybrids and eerie beasts to creatures that seem to have nothing to do with Earth. Get ready to witness the most unbelievable non-humanoid figures ever caught on camera. Surviving an encounter with a furious, Yoda-like creature would be considered extraordinary luck by anyone. While riding a horse through the woods, a man unexpectedly came upon a small, cane-carrying figure that looked strikingly similar to Yoda from Star Wars. For reasons unknown, the creature appeared enraged, rushing toward him while jabbing its cane repeatedly into the ground. When it reached only a short distance away, the man managed to record a close-up of the odd being, which convinced him to flee immediately. Its purpose remains unclear, but one thing stands out. It was far uglier than anyone could have imagined. Spooky beach figure.
No mames. Córrele, güey, no mames. Córrele.
2 young men were caught at Miramar Beach, Florida on February 25th, 2016, and filming themselves until they were interrupted by a very unexpected encounter. While they were busy, a very tall and skinny figure appeared from the darkness, walking casually from the direction of the water. With them being on a beach far from any forest, the possibility of these being skinwalkers was immediately ruled out, but to that of aliens was not considered, as aliens have made an appearance before in Florida. Crawling horror. A nighttime security camera picked up something that ended up frightening the entire neighborhood. At first, the footage showed nothing unusual, just a quiet parking lot, until a small, human-shaped figure crawled into view on all fours. It moved in a strange, jerky way, and even ripped a poster off the wall. Things became even creepier when it got close to the camera, revealing a clear face with bright, glowing white eyes. Some residents thought it might be a possessed child, while others believed it could be some kind of cryptid. Either way, no one wanted to encounter it again. Awakening figure. Passing through the woods somewhere in Colorado, an explorer who was refilling his canteen just before sunset noticed something terrifying. Behind a large rock, a figure was seen rising after a growling sound that caught his attention. Though it looked quite humanoid, but was much larger in size comparatively. It is unclear if this was a skinwalker emerging from the thickness of the woods, or a hidden alien that was coming out while it was almost dark. Scary Yeti. This sighting was made by a man who was passing through a forest road in Montana when he stopped to smoke a cigarette and suddenly saw a white creature appear in front of him. At first, it looked like a Yeti, but there was something deeply unsettling about it. Its eyes glowed red, and its movements were jerky and unnatural, nothing like a normal animal. The man slowly stepped back, trying not to provoke it, knowing that any sudden reaction could be risky. Realizing the situation could quickly turn worse, he chose to retreat carefully, putting distance between himself and the eerie, otherworldly figure to avoid any provocation. Leaked Area 51 clip. Footage from an undisclosed source recently surfaced on the dark web, showing a group of soldiers tightly guarding an alien figure somewhere within the confines of Area 51. It showed the alien figure casually playing basketball, making the entire situation feel like it was a witness protection program. Now, whether this was actual contact with an alien or interrogation of a captured one, is a fact that remains unanswered. Canal water zombie.
Cara, olha aquilo ali, velho.
On April 10th, 2024, two young farmers who were visiting their newly purchased land in Nueva Ecija, Philippines, where they made a very spooky discovery. Just by the side of the trail road, from within the water canal, emerged a disturbing-looking, lifeless entity with a dark, dull, and humped body, along with glowing eyes. Being terrified of the situation, they didn't stay there long enough to investigate or get a closer look, rather turned around and fled. Crawler shapeshifting. A CCTV camera of a residence in Lincoln, Nebraska around midnight had a moment documented that escalated quite alarmingly. The crawler appears to be crawling past by the footpath, where moments later it quickly gets up and shapeshifts into a normal-looking human being as a random passing vehicle approaches and goes away. This shows that whatever this creature or being was didn't want to be seen in its true form until this hidden camera happened to capture it. Terrifying intruder.
Hello?
There are many abandoned houses scattered throughout the forest, but their real stories are rarely known. One day, a man decided to explore one of these old structures, finding everything silent at first, until a strange noise came from the window frame. As he tried to figure out what it was, a humanoid figure with pale skin and long, pointed nails suddenly appeared, staring directly at him. That brief, unsettling moment was enough for him to turn and run, leaving the house and its unanswered mysteries behind. Furry giant. In order to connect with nature, a man was in a forested area in Michigan when he came across something very large, bold, and intimidating while attempting to refill his bottle. Though it was more than a dozen meters away, it looked much bigger and taller than an average person, and was furry and dark in appearance. With the Michigan forest being a known area for Bigfoot sightings, this was thought to be one of them. It seemed to be attempting to grab fish, if not drink water, before turning back and disappearing into the forest. Trapped skinwalker. One of the livestock farmers in Arizona shared his security camera footage dating November 28, 2025, after he discovered a frightening figure that attempted to intrude. In the midst of the darkness of the night, this tiny yet furious-looking skinwalker attempted to pass through openings between the fence, but got stuck as a result. For a long while, it struggled to break free right in front of the camera, depleting all its energy instead of making any of the livestock animals its victim. Living mummy. Footage surfaced from a tourist backpacking through Eastern Europe in May 2014, showing a strange creature locked in a hidden cage at a zoo in Romania. The video, later uploaded by another source, depicted a terrifying beast that closely resembled a mummy, leading the uploader to suggest it might be a mummy that had somehow come to life or was possessed by a spirit. The unsettling sight, caught in plain view yet hidden within the zoo, sparked speculation that the old tales of mummies hunting humans might not be entirely fictional after all.
They got this really weird creature caged up. It looks like some sort of deformed.
Terrifying hybrid. This leaked footage from a secret government lab in Guangzhou was uploaded on Instagram on November 12th, 2025. It showed a very bizarre and terrifying creature that was classified to be a hybrid locked around a fence under an open sky. Its appearance looks very much like that of a humanoid, along with a combination of multiple other animals, making it a result of gene editing and experimentation. With the source being anonymous, nothing much concerning its nature can be known or the level of experimentation that is going on, even though it looks quite haunting. Doom creature. We may have only seen creatures such as this in video games or movies until this footage was exposed on the internet. A really old video footage from February 2nd, 1987, filmed at a secret government facility in an undisclosed location in Nevada, showed a creature that had several limbs or tentacles all around with a skinwalker-type torso. It looked to be a product of an experiment that went incredibly wrong, and now it was being held up in deep, underground rocky terrain and was monitored under a camera 24 hours. Muddy cryptid. A lakeside stroll took a frightening turn when a group noticed a strange figure that was gliding through the water. At first, they assumed it was a swimmer, but it quickly became clear it was something far more unsettling. Its shiny, mud-covered skin blended perfectly with the lake bed, and it moved with an eerie calm until it suddenly became aware of them. With unnatural speed, it surged toward the group, who fled in panic. Their frantic escape caught on shaky video. The brief encounter with the muddy, cryptid-like figure left them shaken and terrified. Broken back creature. A roadside CCTV camera on a road in Brentwood, Tennessee, that unexpectedly recorded a bizarre scene when a creature with a human-like body and a long tail appeared. It moved along the road in an oddly unnatural manner with its back leaning downwards. Moments later, a bright, flickering figure shot across the pavement at incredible speed. Locals in the area casually noted that the first figure resembled a reptilian entity rumored to appear there, while the glowing shape matched stories of a forest spirit linked to nearby trees. After the footage circulated, many residents chose to avoid that stretch of road. Strange being. Tourists in Alaska were filming the snowy landscape when they noticed something extraordinary. A strange man appearing almost as if he had emerged from the ground. His movements were awkward, and he looked around as though seeing the world for the first time, showing no sign of being affected by the cold. They continued recording, and later, when reviewing the footage, the figure appeared even stranger, seeming not entirely human. Some speculated it might be an extraterrestrial with a human-like appearance. That's when the tourists realized the snow wasn't the only thing frozen in Alaska that day. Goblin intruders. Motion-activated security cameras at a residence were triggered by the sudden appearance of highly unusual intruders. It was at 2:30 a.m. on 6th October 2025. When two goblin creatures, after noticing a vacant house, appeared after presumably making their way through the window. After scanning all over the flat, they casually left, only to surprise the homeowners, who, when they later reviewed the footage and found part of their food rations to be missing and eaten through. Chasing Bigfoot. A duo of hunters who were out looking for a game in the woods of Bluff Creek, Wisconsin. Their paths took an unexpected turn. This happened on the 2nd of October 2012, when they were hoping to track a deer. Instead, they found a strange trail of a large being that turned out to be a Bigfoot. Out of curiosity and excitement, one of them decided to get close to it with an ATV at hand, but wasn't able to. They, however, did manage to get some good footage captured on one of their cameras. This Bigfoot was estimated to be about 7 feet or 2.13 meters tall. Winged figure. A camper in the Monongahela National Forest filmed a strange humanoid creature with big, dark wings sitting on a cliff, almost like it was getting ready to take off or just watching the area below. Its appearance, tall, winged, and creepy, looked a lot like how demons are often described in folklore. The fact that this happened in a quiet, isolated spot makes it feel even more unsettling, leaving people to wonder if the creature was hunting, waiting, or simply looking for its next target. Walking Hollow Man. CCTV footage that was shared by a homeowner in Battambang, Cambodia, on the internet, where an unknown sighting was made. This happened after 2 of his dogs, which for consecutive days would suddenly start to bark soon after midnight. To investigate, he decided to install a camera, only to find this. On the street, a pair of legs with no visible body was seen casually walking by, almost as if it were a person. With this incident having followed several days in a row, this couldn't be a coincidence or a one of sightings, rather something quite shocking and concerning. White goblins. Being in the middle of a forest, a remote resident in the woods unexpectedly came across something unlike anything he had ever encountered. 2 pale, almost luminous figures were noticed as they came out in a sneaking manner as they made their way through the trail road until the source came across them. They attempted to partially conceal themselves behind the trees, each having unusually long, pointed ears. They remained motionless for a brief moment before darting swiftly back into the dense tree line. The appearance was unsettling. Some later suggested them to be possibly goblins due to their similar resemblance. Stalking alien. Being on a night drive on a snowmobile in Alaska, a local had a frightening encounter on October 29th, 2024. He was accompanied by a dog which repeatedly blocked his way, trying to stop him from going any further. Then came a moment when he came across a strange figure resembling a gray humanoid, which looked remarkably like an alien. The way it appeared clearly suggested hostile intentions, even toward the possibility of abduction. The dog sensed the danger of getting closer, and instead of confronting the figure, tried to convince its owner to turn around.
What are you barking at?
Haunting mystery. Years after being captured, old grainy footage leaked online, revealing a brief and unexpected moment originally recorded by researchers setting up cameras for an Animal Channel documentary. In the clip, a muscular, long-haired humanoid figure appeared and stared directly into the lens, almost as if it knew it was being watched, before vanishing from view. The release sparked debate, with people wondering why the footage had been kept hidden and never aired, whether it was withheld intentionally or simply something the team chose not to share. Fenced zombie. A strange clip recently caught people's attention after showing a creepy-looking figure peering through a metal-wired window, its glowing eyes fixed on the camera as it made noises unlike any known animal. Viewers speculated wildly, suggesting everything from a demon or mythical creature to a restrained zombie kept hidden from the world. Some even wondered if scientists had captured it and locked it in a lab for study or containment. Whatever the truth, the brief footage left many questioning whether someone had stumbled onto something never meant to be seen. Lizard man sighting.
7 feet tall, scales, red eyes, and a massive tail. That's the description of the ever-elusive lizard man.
The legendary lizard man, a 7-foot-tall, red-eyed, scaly creature that walks on its hind legs, was reportedly spotted again near Scape Ore Swamp in Lee County, South Carolina. In a clip that went viral in August 2008, a man passing through the swamp noticed the unusual figure moving through the trees. Nearby residents also reported strange damage to their homes, including scratched and torn furniture, unlike anything local wildlife would cause. The sighting and reports sparked concern among the community and on Reddit, raising questions about whether the lizard man had returned decades after its first notorious 1988 encounter. The mysterious creature continues to intrigue and unsettle those in the area.
The legend of the lizard man is Lee County. We just need to embrace it.
Four-legged mystery. After After a camping trip, a group of campers was making their way back home, trailing along a narrow forest road in Michigan. While on the way, they noticed something large and terrifying appear in their path, only to vanish within a fraction of a second. By having a recording dashcam, they luckily managed to have the incident documented. A zoomed-in slow motion of the video gave the only highlight showing it to be some kind of four-legged zombie-like animal. Without a second or much closer look, nothing much could be said of its nature. Backyard sighting. A lone homeowner who soon after returning home late at night started to hear noise in his backyard. Despite being fearful, he decided to investigate only to discover this. He noticed a giant goblin in the backyard of his house that soon after he discovered it, immediately resorted to hostility by throwing a large piece of rock before fleeing the scene. Since it all happened too fast and also in the dark, he was not able to properly record or even get a good look at it. But if we play back the clip, we can surely say that it looks more like a real-life appearance of a mythical creature. Ridgeline walker.
Victorville, California.
Locals traveling through an unknown mountainous region in Mexico on June 22nd, 2024, noticed an unusual figure moving across a distant hillside. Even from more than a mile away, it appeared far larger than an average person. The figure walked casually through the rough, inhospitable terrain, a detail that quickly made a normal human explanation seem unlikely, especially given its completely dark appearance. Speculation ranged from Bigfoot to a giant or even an alien, but nothing could be confirmed, and despite the sighting, the travelers simply continued along their usual route. Forest beast. A hunter who had placed a recording camera in the rural province of the Philippines to track animal activity instead caught something very terrifying. A beast that looked quite like a mix of a fully grown male gorilla and a werewolf was seen sitting atop a tree. According to his hunting experience and rough estimate, he described it to be about 8 to 10 feet tall, where the only reason it looked small in the clip was that it was sitting several feet above the ground. The grainy video, reportedly filmed at night, shows a long-limbed figure clinging to the branches and moving with uncanny agility and having glowing eyes with an elongated body. Freaky silhouette.
This is the exact spot that I just...
A man in Bradenton, Florida, was on a Facebook live stream on November 27th, 2025, when he spotted something alarming. Just outside his residence, while walking outside, he saw a dark, ghost-like figure sprinting across his garden, a sight that terrified him enough to slam his front door shut. This happened after he had vaguely seen something through his window and was telling his viewers about it before cautiously opening the door again to take another look.
And show y'all that the picture came from in the back of my yard.
Feral figure. A man who was camping in a forest area somewhere in Oregon when he took notice of a giant figure at not much of a distance who was staring at him. It had a completely white and very human-like face, including its hair. At first, he didn't make any sudden moves while he was sitting by the campfire and decided to slowly pack up and leave the area. After several minutes, he managed to walk away while still looking over his shoulder to see if he was being followed. Demon incident. Deep in the Amazon jungle, a group of tribesmen happened to witness a frightening scene when a horned, shadowy creature suddenly leapt into the river. Its large, dark form spread across the water as it seized an animal trying desperately to escape. The tribesmen quickly threw rocks in an attempt to scare it off, but the creature didn't react and remained fixed on its prey, dragging it steadily beneath the surface. The struggle ended in silence, leaving the onlookers unsettled and wondering if they had just encountered something far beyond the natural world. Weird forest being. An adventurer deep in the jungle unexpectedly stumbled across a massive, unfamiliar being that left him speechless. Moving through the dense trees, he suddenly found himself face to face with a creature that looked partly human, until he noticed the long, serpentine tail trailing behind it. It slowly became clear that he might be looking at a naga, the half-human, half-snake figure known from centuries of myth. When he later shared what he had seen, many wondered whether the encounter hinted at something more than legend, raising the possibility that such ancient beings might still exist in hidden corners of the world. Terrifying trespasser. Late one evening, a woman heard something crawling around her backyard and, assuming it was just an animal, stepped outside with her phone. Instead, she caught sight of a large figure moving on all fours, its body unnaturally bent and its long, stretched-looking face unlike anything she had ever seen. It crept across the yard and slipped behind a wall, and when she followed, it had already disappeared without a sound or a trace, leaving only the unsettling image lingering in her mind. Spooky crawler. On September 20th, 2025, a group of travelers moving late at night along the Balsillas-Neva Road in the remote wilderness of Colombia, where they made a spooky encounter. They unknowingly came across a strange, human-like figure that casually appeared, crawling away. Though small in size, it had several limbs and a visible head with hair, making it seem almost as if it had temporarily transformed into this state, which made it even more concerning. One of the passengers managed to record the brief encounter on a cell phone without getting close due to the obvious, terrifying vibe. Mysterious desert giant.
Caralho, velho. Puta, onde que tá agora, pô?
In 2016, a mysterious creature was briefly spotted and filmed in the Portuguese desert before quickly vanishing behind a bush. The footage showed a strange figure with unusually long arms and a crooked back, its powerful, lumbering limbs giving it an eerie presence while still not appearing overtly aggressive, though few would dare cross its path. Once the clip gained attention, people began speculating wildly, suggesting it could be an ancient being, an alien, a zombie, or even a chupacabra, the legendary creature said to drain the blood of livestock. Whatever it was, it seemed intelligent enough to slip away before anyone could get a closer look. Tall mountaintop entity.
Você consegue captar as vibrações. Vem até nós.
While hiking on the Brazilian island of Ilha do Mel, a young woman, along with her family, noticed two odd shapes standing on a steep ridge. From a distance, the figures looked unusually tall, their silhouettes outlined sharply against the sky. The incline was so difficult that it seemed unlikely anyone would be standing there at all, which made the sight even stranger. She filmed the moment without thinking much of it. Viewers offered all kinds of theories, some even wondering if these figures were extraterrestrial or even hillbillies.
Mano, pior que mexe esquisito demais.
Creepy creature. An installed traffic monitoring camera somewhere on the forest road in Costa Rica recorded a very creepy creature that appeared passing on the road on January 21st, 2025. Due to the darkness on the street, it was impossible to get even a partial look at it, though its silhouette was very much like that of a giant crab. With stray dogs who were around out, it was reacting. It is clear that this indeed was something very real and spooky. Wilderness werewolf. Forest officers in Brazil were on patrol when they heard movement in the bushes. They swung their lights toward the noise, and what they saw left them frozen. A tall, fur-covered figure stood upright on two legs, crouched low as if trying not to be noticed. As it repeatedly appeared on the camera, it almost seemed as if it was sticking around the area for a while, as if it were waiting for them to come out. Out of safety concerns, they remained inside their cover until dawn to be safe rather than sorry. Devilish being.
Allahu Akbar, Subhanallah, Subhanallah, wa la ilaha illallah.
A brave explorer, driven by curiosity, decided to check out an abandoned house despite having heard rumors about the place, which he ignored. As he looked around, he sensed something lurking behind a wall. When he moved closer, he saw it was an unfamiliar being with striking red skin and an unsettling face. Hoping to catch it on camera, he stepped in too close instead of zooming in on it. The creature grabbed him just as the camera slipped from his hands. Some believe the house may have been home to a paranormal or extraterrestrial entity. The fact of this explorer remains unknown, and what truly happened to him remains a mystery.
Ya Allah, ya Allah, ya Allah, ya Allah. Yes.
Hidden river figure. In 2023, a video surfaced online showing something unusual at a waterfall in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. The footage captured a shadowy, humanoid figure, standing about 5 feet tall, that seemed to emerge from nowhere amid the cascading water. It remained perfectly still despite the rush of the falls around it, prompting viewers to speculate whether it could be an interdimensional being using the waterfall to hide. Whatever the truth, the brief sighting only added to the mystery, explaining why such entities are so rarely observed. Pigsy beast. What's scarier than almost running into a wild carnivore? Running into something you can't even identify. That's what happened here when a group of Boy Scouts was gathering firewood. At first, they felt as if something was watching them from close by, so they grabbed their flashlights and looked around until a strange creature showed up.
Hello.
They said it looked like a giant pig with a dog-like body, but also had something oddly human about it. Most people worry about meeting a werewolf, but a huge pig-like creature that is weird might be even more terrifying.
What is that?
Left behind in cave. While exploring a cave beneath a large rock in Acapulco, Mexico, a team of rescuers happened upon a disturbing sight. The cavern seemed empty at first, but a closer look revealed a face partially hidden in the shadows, with large, unblinking eyes and a dark, almost otherworldly presence that appeared aware of them. Some speculated it might be an alien trapped or hiding in the cave, while others thought it could be an unknown creature seeking shelter in the darkness. Whatever it was, the brief encounter left both the rescuers and anyone who later saw the footage deeply unsettled. The video has definitely reached its end. I will see you again with another WOW video. Until then, you can check out these other videos for a WOW dose of entertainment and knowledge.